Mr. Albert, this GMC has seen a lot of miles and a lot of hunts.
That's not just a truck, son. That's every sunset I ever chased in the
Let's
woods.
give this legend one more hunt, clean and new.
The blood, the mud, the years of work, it's a total disaster.
I pushed her hard, but never let in the wild.
Make her proud for my grandson, will you? Albert had asked, his voice heavy with the quiet dignity of a man who knew his time in the deep woods was coming to an end, and standing there in the cold morning light, looking at that devastated 2008 GMC Sierra, I realized that the layer of blood mud and relentless neglect burying this massive truck was far more than just storage issues. It was the physical closure of a legendary chapter in Albert's life. He was 76, a man who still carried the broad, strong frame of the professional woodsman he once was, though he now moved with the labored, careful precision of aging joints and a medical brace that stabilized his knee. And the only companion that ever truly shared his silence was the aged, gay Gohan made by his own father. Looking at him standing there in his weathered flannel shirt, his hands fixed on the steering wheel with a gaze that held both triumph and regret, I saw a champion who had spent his entire life conquering things the world had written off, and I knew that if I did not get this vehicle running, or at least cleaned of its heavy burden, I would be failing a man who refused to believe his greatest stories were dead. The truck itself was a horrifying disaster zone. The interior, a suffocating tomb of cobwebs, mouse nests, and 15 years of abandoned silence, with the stale scent of sorrow seemingly trapped in the very fibers of the upholstery. But every time I scraped a layer of hardened grime away from the exterior, I was not just finding a car, I was unearthing the tangible evidence of Albert's past. An old brass compass still mounted on the dashboard, a small photograph frame of his son taken decades ago, and a single copper whistle fallen between the cushions that had likely called dogs and friends back from finish lines long before my time. And of course, the evidence of this summer's hunting. Expeditious from the bug guts plastered across the front grille to the tailgate, painted entirely brown with dirt. Clearly, the truck had pushed through nearly 40 miles of the northern provincial forest during elk season, and my boots were taking the brunt of it. I worked the steamer into the door panels and deep into the seat fibers, pulling out dark, rancid sludge that looked like liquid sorrow. And every time I cleaned a surface, I found artifacts of a love story, the small scar on the dashboard, where he had almost